Hello, Year 7. This is week 9, lesson 1 on gas exchange. That's what we're going to be looking at today. I've got a starter for you guys, and you need to try and figure out what the keywords are. So, like this guy has got his hand by his ear, by his right ear, it sounds like. So this one is keywords. So what would the next one be? So try and figure out what the answer would be. So you can pause the video at each point to try and work it out. And this is based on something that you have actually done before. Okay, well done if you got antagonistic muscles. Next one. This one is a little bit more tricky, but there are some clues on the screen. Okay, well done if you got it right. The next one. And ligament. These are keywords that we looked at in the last lesson. Gas exchange is the topic that we're looking at today. The learning outcomes are you should be able to describe the structure of the gas exchange system, explain how parts of the gas exchange system are adapted to their functions. Which of the following is true? The lungs are cells, tissues, an organ system, or an organism. You should remember this from levels of organization. Okay, if you said the lungs are an organ, you are correct and well done to you. The respiratory system are the organs and tissues that help your body to exchange gases between the air and your blood. The process takes place inside the lungs and is called gas exchange. Your lungs expand when you breathe in and allows in lots of oxygen. So what goes in and what comes out into your lungs? Oxygen gas goes into your lungs, and you guessed it right, carbon dioxide comes out. As a percentage, how much oxygen is in the air? This is something that you need to know now, and you need to know even for your GCSE exams. I know that is still quite a while away, but you need to know the percentage of oxygen in the air, and it is 21%. So how does air get into the lungs? If you look at the diagram on your left, you would see that air enters your body through your mouth and nose. It then moves down your trachea, which is another name for your windpipe. The air moves down a bronchus, which is a smaller tube, and then it moves through a bronchiole, which is an even smaller tube. And then from there, the air moves into the alveolus or alveoli, plural, which is an air sac. And then the oxygen can diffuse into your blood. So I've put up another diagram to make it easier for you to see where the bronchus and the trachea and the bronchioles are. So I'm going to try and highlight it. So you've got your trachea here, which is your windpipe, and then you've got your bronchiole here, your bronchus or bronchi, plural, and then they branch into smaller bronchioles, which is in red here. These you've got your bronchioles there, and then the bronchioles then branch into the alveolus or alveoli, and that is around here. And that is how oxygen can diffuse into our blood. Gases move in by diffusion, and you've done diffusion with Mr. LePage when you did movement of substances. So diffusion is the net movement of substances from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Now, your lungs are not empty bags, they're full with little air sacs called alveoli. Again, like I said, alveoli is plural for alveolus. This is where oxygen diffuses into the blood and carbon dioxide diffuses out. Some water vapor is also lost from the surface of the alveoli. And you can tell that water vapor is lost because when you breathe on a mirror on a cold day, you can see condensation forming on the surface of the mirror. So the oxygenated blood is carried from your body tissues back to your alveoli, and then that gets diffused, the carbon dioxide gets diffused out into back into the air, and then your lungs work in order to take oxygen in and the oxygen diffusing into your blood via the alveoli and the capillaries. Now, if you look at the this picture on your right here, you can see that the alveoli is covered with lots and lots of blood vessels, and this helps for gas exchange to take place. So you have a large surface area and a moist surface in order for gaseous exchange to take place. Now, if you were in class, we would have done a lung dissection, but you can watch this on the YouTube link, which is on Show My Homework. So if you click on the link, you should be able to watch the lung dissection. The task you have to do now is called inhaled and exhaled air. You need to draw this table, and I would suggest that you pause the video right now. You need to record the percentage of nitrogen, the percentage of oxygen, and of carbon dioxide for both columns. The information you need is coming up next. Okay, so you've got two pie charts here, one for inhaled air, and I'm just going to circle that for you so that you can see it, and the other one for exhaled air, and the percentages are next to them. For inhaled air, it says oxygen is 20.96%, but you can just round that up to 21%.
Hello, Year 7. We're just going to demonstrate that you've got carbon dioxide present in your lungs. I do have Miss Callis here who is helping me today. She's starring in a guest role. So Miss Callis, can you pour some lime water up to about there for me, please, in both test tubes? So the lime water is colorless. I think you need to squeeze a bit more, otherwise we're going to be here for ages. That's fine, thank you. And then about the same volume. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's fine. So it's I'm putting this against black paper so that you can see they're both colorless. Miss Callis is going to take one of them and blow gently into the lime water. And then I want you to tell me, well, you can't tell me because you're online. I want you to see what the difference would be after a little while. So if you were in class, this is one of the experiments that you would have been doing. So can you see what is happening? Okay, thank you, Miss Callis. That's very kind of you. Can you just put it back down here, please? Thank you. So if you look, you can see that it has gone cloudy. And this is the test for carbon dioxide. Sorry about that. Who was to know that the bell was going to go off at this time? So this is just showing you that you've got carbon dioxide present in your lungs, and also it's useful to remember because you will come across this again in key stage 4. So you blow gently using a straw into lime water, and the lime water turns cloudy.
Okay, yes, 7. You should have completed the table by now, and you should have got these figures down in your table. The oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen are in a slightly different order, but that doesn't matter as long as you've written the figures down in the correct columns and rows. Okay, exhaled air is also warmer than inhaled air, which is something that is interesting to note. Please remember that you do not need to submit any work because the question was given to you on the previous slide, and these are the answers. So you do not need to email anything to us because the answers are there. You can mark it to see whether you were right or not. Now, another thing I would like you to do is answer these questions. So describe the differences between the inhaled air and the exhaled air, and then explain why they occur. I'm going to give you a moment to think about these questions. Okay, now, if you were thinking about the questions, you would notice that in exhaled air, the percentage of oxygen is less than the oxygen that you inhale. With carbon dioxide, it has increased. It has gone from 0.04% to 4%. And with nitrogen, it remains unchanged. And water vapor, inhaled air, it varies, and exhaled air, it is saturated. That means that you've got the maximum amount of water vapor in there. So why these differences? Well, with oxygen, a reaction takes place in your body that causes the oxygen to be used. So oxygen will react with glucose, and this allows energy to be released in your body. So oxygen is needed. With carbon dioxide, it is a byproduct of respiration, and so it increases in your body, and your body needs to get rid of the excess carbon dioxide. So both of them is due to the reactions taking place in your body. By now, you should be able to describe the structure of the gas exchange system and explain how parts of the gas exchange system are adapted to their functions, in particular how the alveoli allows gaseous exchange between itself and the blood. Now pause the video and remember that you do not need to submit any work or email it to us because you can mark the work yourself. So there are 5 short questions for you to answer in this quiz, and as soon as you've answered them, you can mark it on the next slide coming up. So the first one is, what is gas exchange? Is it the movement of gases between living things and their environment, or the release of gases from burning fuel? Number 2, what are the 2 main gases involved in gas exchange? Number 3, in what order does air move through your body? Is it, so you need to put alveoli, bronchi, trachea, and bronchioles in order. So which one comes first and which one comes last? And number 4, true or false? Alveoli have a small alveoli have a small surface area for gas exchange. True or false? Alveoli are in close contact with blood capillaries. So these are the answers. For number 1, it's A. Number 2, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Number 3, it is your trachea first, then your bronchus, then your bronchiole, and then your alveoli. And number 4 is false, and number 5 is true. That brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope you understand what we have done. If not, please revisit from the beginning. Go back to the beginning of the video and watch it all over again.